In our buried lead, stories that we feel are not getting enough attention, Stephen Miller, one of the leading architects of the Trump administration's brutal family separation border policy, has now made fighting for the rights of white people a priority of a new legal group. Miller even waged a legal war against the Biden administration's efforts to even the field for minority farmers who have, as a matter of fact, for decades faced institutional discrimination by the U.S. government. And as CNN's Jessica Schneider reports for us now, so far Stephen Miller is winning.
We have multiple tools across multiple fronts to ensure that we are preventing terrorist infiltration of our country.
Stephen Miller, often the face of former President Trump's crackdown on immigration, now continuing his conservative crusade, even after leaving his post as a top advisor in the last administration. He spent the past 2 years as the president of a right-wing organization that pledges it is fighting back against lawless executive actions and the radical left. America First Legal touts itself as the long-awaited answer to the ACLU. And just as the ACLU sued to block many Trump-era policies, AFL has filed a litany of lawsuits challenging Biden policies they view as anti-white. And just like the ACLU, they are flush with millions of dollars in new donations.
When did racism against white people become okay?
This is the ad the group ran before the midterms. But fourth-generation black farmer John Boyd, who says a lawsuit filed by Miller's group caused him to lose out on thousands in federal aid, argues the group is way off base.
I want to set the record straight. No one is against white farmers in this country.
Miller's group sued, saying the Farm Debt Forgiveness Program that gave preference to non-white farmers violated civil rights law. Congress eventually put a new program in its place, offering funds to all farmers.
White farmers were getting debt relief, and they were the ones getting all of the debt relief for all of these decades. And it's been blacks and other minorities that clearly haven't been getting debt relief. And that's what this whole measure was about.
AFL also challenged a COVID relief fund for restaurants that Miller's team said gave first dibs to women and minorities.
Joe Biden put white people last in line for COVID relief funds.
AFL filed both of these lawsuits in the conservative-leaning Northern District of Texas in Fort Worth, though filing in friendly courts is a tactic used by liberal and conservative groups alike. No one from AFL responded to our request for comment, but Miller told the Washington Post that after a never-ending stream of litigation during the Trump years, one of my goals was to try to help and inspire and coordinate a larger legal movement on the conservative side of the spectrum to do the same. AFL isn't just rallying against Biden's policies, but also a broad array of social issues, including transgender rights and affirmative action. They sued Texas A&M for relying on race and gender preferences in hiring, something Texas A&M disputes. Some advocates say Miller's group is taking the idea of reverse discrimination too far.
It's the use of grievance politics through the rule of law to try to exclude people of color broadly, but in certain pockets, Black people specifically, from areas of opportunity.
And Miller's group has a number of other legal actions still pending, and proclamations are on their website that promise more legal action to come. Jake?
Jessica Schneider, thanks so much. Joining us now to discuss, Congressman Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, a member of Democratic leadership. Congressman, what's your reaction to Stephen Miller's new group, this law firm that fights to block Biden administration programs that are trying to remedy racial and gender disparities?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Look, I have been saying now for more than a dozen years that I detect throughout the country and in a lot of legislative halls attempts to turn back the clock. I just finished today a markup in the Veterans Affairs Committee of two African Americans who came home after World War II. One of them was, while in uniform, was blinded by a local police officer here in South Carolina. Took his billy stick and punched his eyes out, denied any kind of assistance from the veterans, the so-called GI Bill. Maddox, up in New York, was admitted to Harvard University, but was not allowed to get veterans benefits because they did not want to set a precedence. That's what has been going on since the 1940s. And we moved to correct that in this country with the Civil Rights Act of '64. the Voting Rights Act of 65, the Fair Housing Law of 68. These things were done to correct the traditional discrimination that had taken place against black folks. Now, we knew. In fact, I used to run the South Carolina Commission for Farm Workers. The veterans, the Agriculture Department were discriminating against black farmers, and all the records show it. The Pickford case is replete with it. And Biden administration moved to correct that. And now they're saying you're being unfair to white people. That is why today there are 8 less African Americans in the South Carolina legislature than there were in the past legislature, because these laws are now making it fair game to discriminate. So Miller knows what he's doing. They think they've got enough people on the Supreme Court to back up what they're doing, and so that's what's going on here. I would hope the media will not allow this to go unchecked.
You are the chairman for the House Select Committee on the coronavirus crisis, which held its final hearing today, which is why we booked you. And you say the committee's final report lays out that, quote, the Trump administration's poor management of relief programs left them particularly vulnerable to waste, fraud, and abuse, and that the previous administration, the Trump administration, prioritized politics over public health, engaging in an unprecedented campaign to undermine federal agencies responsible for protecting Americans' health and lives. How much blame for the poor response to the pandemic do you put on the Trump administration, and how much do you think our country's health agencies were just unprepared as opposed to purposefully failing?
Well, there's no question but that we were unprepared for this pandemic. And at our hearing today, our final hearing, I asked Dr. Corbett, who, as you know, is an African-American woman who's credited with having done the lion's share of the work on the Moderna vaccine. And she said to me, there are about 19 other variants out there that we are ill prepared for. So that's what this committee was all about, trying to identify where we had problems in the system. And so when you get a pandemic and it visit a community that has already been discriminated against, already been ill-prepared health-wise, then it becomes a big, big problem. So it's a combination. I'm not saying that it was all Trump administration. No. This country has allowed inequality in healthcare to be a part of it for a long, long time. Inequality in education for a long, long time. These things run rampant. But all I'm saying is, when that exists and the pandemic comes, then those who are less prepared are more affected.